Ungqongqoshe wezeMfundo eyisisekelo unkosikazi Angie Motshekga uthe uMnyango usungule imigomo ezobhekana nokuziphatha kwezingane okungajwayelekile ezikoleni. Over 3,000 schools, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape, Western Cape and Gauteng, have reported highly emotional outbursts and physically harmful practices by some pupils. Ngonyaka odlule isikole samabanga aphezulu i-Makgofe esisendaweni yase-Moletjie eMpumalanga ye-Polokwane e-Limpopo saphenduka indawo yezehlakalo ezingajwayelekile lapho abafundi cishe bangaphezulu kwama-40 bequleka emagcekeni esikole nokungaziwa ukuthi kwakudalwa yini. Kwivideo eyasabalala einkundleni zokuxhumana labafundi babonakala bewa emagcekeni esikole beyiginqa phansi ngenxa yobuhlungu ababebuzwa. On today's episode, we'll be trying to understand the impact of these learning and on these these occurrences on learning and teaching. Mbukeli sikwamukele ohlekeni i-Asikhulume. Let's talk. Igama lami ngikubongiwe uMakhumalo wakwaZwane. Asikhumbuze ke mbukeli ukuthi ungaba ingxenye lolu hlelo ngokushayela ucingo. Sizwe umbono noma umbuzo wakho. Inombolo zethu zocingo 0117140677 noma ungasithola ku 0117140678. Kanti ungabuye futhi usithole emakhasini ethu okuxhumana ku Twitter siku @SABC Izindaba kanye na ku Facebook siku SABC Izindaba. Ukuze kubelula ke mbukeli sicela uqale ngo #Asikhulume #SABC News bese ke ubhala umbuzo noma umbono wakho. Mbukeli zingaphezulu kuka 3,000 izikole zakuleli ezibike ukuziphatha okungajwayelekile kwabafundi. Isigameko sakamuva nje sibikwe eSoshanguve enyakatho neThwane lapho abafundi ayishagalolunye kahle besikole samabanga aphansi belaliswe esibhedlela ngemuva kokudla amakhekhe anensangu. Swazi ngokuthi ama-space muffins. The Department of Basic Education defines a school code of conduct as a document that spells out the rules that learners must follow at school and describe the disciplinary system to be implemented by the school concerning these transgressions by the learners. Now, the code of conduct applies to all learners while they are on the school premises or when they are away from the school representing it or attending a school function. Now, what constitutes this kind of behavior? Are there perhaps some gaps in this particular conduct? Our producer, Ulindokuhle Smelane, usithulela na umbiko.
Izikole eziningi eningizimu Afrika zikhala ngokuziphatha kwabafundi nokunomthelele ekufundiseni. Umnyango wezeMfundo usungenelele kulokho.
We also thought we should update the public about what we think has become a trend of what we regard as unusual behavior in schools, especially in provinces of KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape, Western Cape and Gauteng, where there have been increasing reports of unusual behavior among learners, leading to high emotional outbursts and physical harmful practices. And we are not sure about the exact reasons for this, and as such we are going to establish a commission to guide us.
Abazali bazokalisa ukukhathazeka ngokuphepha kwezingane zabo. Kanti futhi ngabe kudalwa yini lokhu?
I think mostly it's peer pressure and the community they are in and the sorts of friends that they hang out with. So we as parents, like I'm a parent, I have a teenage. He's 14 years old, but he's also been acting strange lately.
But angithi ama-plans ayenziwa yini isikolo ne siqhamuka sesitshelwa like now indaba zama-assembly asiyithe sekungasabi ne-assembly.
Njengoba sibazali abantwana siyabahluleka ukuthi siba control abantwana. And aneke bo teacher if bazama ukuthi bayaba discipline thina asifuni njengoba sibazali.
Ochwepheshe bezengqondo bakhuthaze abazithola banale nkinga ukuthi bafune usizo.
Kubalekile ukuthi thina njengabantu abaphilayo sikwazi ukuthi sisheshe sibone ukuthi sekonakele la. Yini ke into esingayenza ukuze umuntu akwazi ukusizakala. Ukuze ke ne-environment abaphila kuyona umntwana siyenze ibe safe. Ukuba safe kwayo kuncike emphakathini ukuthi yini abayenzayo ekulekeleleni ukuthi ingane iziziphephile, izizwe izibona ibalekile, ikwazi ukuthi ingazifike esimweni sokuthi ibe nesibibithwane ngoba phela ima-sister isibibithwane kahle hle lo muntu ukukhombisa ukuthi i-distress kade nengcindezi. Ingcindezi manje angasazi ukuthi uzoyikhipha kanjani. Agcine seyikhipha ngendlela esiyibona ngayo manje. Sesibona sebekhala bonke. Ingoba nalomunye unosizi lwakhe, nalomunye unosizi lwakhe. Lolu sizi meselihlangene lugcine likhipha ibhomu.
Ungqongqoshe wezemfundo uthi lolu cwaningo luzosiza ukuthola imbangela yalenkinga esibhidlangile ezikoleni.
Mbukela sibonge kwintatheli yethu uLindo Kuhle simelane ngokusiphakela lo mbiko ukudingida kabanzi ngalokho asamukele ihambeli zethu okukhulumela uMnyango wezeMfundo eyisisekelo uMnumzane Elijah Mhlanga umfundisi uGiet Khoza nongu-General Secretary we-International Federation of Christian Churches kanye noMalai Xaba ongusekela mongameli we-Traditional Healing Organization. Nginamukele nonke siyabonga kakhulu. Ngizoqala ngawe Ma, because one of the things that we are seeing is these practices esingazi-understand esikoleni. Angazi wena uma ubhekile kwenzakalani?
Sanibonani balaleli emakhaya, sanibonani e-studio. Elangeni namhlanje inkulumo esiphezu kwayo inkulumo yezinkolo ebakhona ezikolweni, ikakhulu ephazamisayo ezikolweni. Ngokwenkolo yomuntu nangokwenza komuntu. Ngizothi ke emphakathini esiphila kuwona kuke kube khona inkinga esibanazo ezikolweni size sibizwe ukuthi buyani bogogo buyani nizolekelela ngoba kusuke kube khona imimoya ethize engahambelani nemoya yobizo engahambelani nomoya kaNkulunkulu kodwa kuyimimoya ehambisana nemimoya engalungile einganeni zesikole. Kusuke khona kube khona lelo demoni elikhona ngaleso sikhathi elifanele ukuthi ngabe liyakhulekiswa liyadluliswa ekufanele ukuthi ngabe kubizwa ama traditional doctors which are practitioners bese kubizwa abafundisi abopastor abaholi esisebenzisana nabo ku forum ye interfaith ukuze hlanganani sikwazi ukuthi sizobona ukuthi umthombo waloku okukhona ezikolweni kungabe kuyidemoni yini demoni bani lelikhona mimoya bani lekhona makube spiritual healing machache ukuthi spiritual healing because if it's a spiritual healing umntwana ngeke azakuhlupha esikolweni umntwana onethonga onedlozi akasoze wakuhlupha esikolweni.
And ngizobuya kulokho mama ngoba ngifuna ukuthi sisho ukuthi kuchazeka kanjani umbona kanjani awumboni kanjani but Elijah mangize kuwena ngoba one of the things that we've seen here is that abanye bawa describe as strange behaviors ngoba bazi kwenzakalani. Nina ni department niqale ukubona ukuthi kunenkinga.
Sibonge wathi ngibonge ngibuyelele futhi kuzo zonke ihambeli zakho. Singasho nje ukuthi bese kule minyaka edlule siyasibona nje ama video ku social media ebonisa ukuthi kukhona imimoya ekhona ezikoleni la uzobona khona abantwana eclassini bewa phansi bekhala abanye bathi khona into abayibonayo kube njalo nje vele kubenzima ukuthi kufundiseke esikoleni ngoba nabo uthisha abazi ukuthi kwenzakalani. So uma kunjalo sesabona ukuthi kwezinye indawo ngiyakhumbula nje kwezinye izikole ngale ko Vryheid KwaZulu-Natal umphakathi wahlukana abanye bathi sibize izangoma abanye bathi sibize abafundisi savala isikole kwaphela amaviki amabili isikole sivaliwe. Ngalokho into ke ebonisayo ukuthi akukho kuvumelana ngokuthi kwenzakalani kulezo izikolo into nje siyazi ukuthi asikwazi ukuqhubeka nokufundisa abantwana esikoleni uma khona lezinto ezenzakalayo ngalendlela esingazaziyo ukuthi izini. So nalesibalo le 3000 siyasisho nje ngoba ila sithole khona imibiko kodwa siyazi ukuthi lezi zinto zenzakala nakwezinye indawo nakwezinye izikole uthole ukuthi kulezo ndawo ke bayakwazi ukuthi abantu bendawo bayilungise bona labakhona.
Mfundisi, I'm going to bring you in here ngoba I'm listening to this and uMamXaba uyayichaza uthi kunemimoya engatholakali kahle which is neither imimoya ukuthi ingane inamathonga or ingane that have any other form of gift. It does look like it's spirits that are strange. How do you describe it?
I'll really respond in English so that
That's fine. That's fine.
I think I don't know whether research has been done in terms of what was the impact of COVID emotionally for the children. including ours. And so there are a lot of things we don't know coming out of COVID, what the children have been through. I saw it with my own son, how he battled emotionally to recover from whatever emotional stress. And also, I don't know whether there's a research that has been done in terms of the pressure that the children carries now, or even us as parents are equipped enough to help them to navigate what we're facing. So there are a lot of complexity with things that we don't know. However, I think there's always a solution in every situation that arises. And for me, from where I'm sitting, that partnership with the Department of Education, religious sector, and civil society need to be fast-tracked so that our children are not just left to the teachers alone, for them to navigate with social issues that they don't even know, the home setting. Now we've got social media that is up there. We don't know our children that are watching. Every child has a phone, has an iPad. So we are faced with it's a minefield. And to leave the teachers and the educators and the department with our children and then come back. So I think we really need to fast track this. And how this could be done is easily. In every community, there's a church. In every community, there's a school. And those relationships need to be fast-tracked with these governing bodies that the schools are there. To say every church must know their school around, how the school is working. Civil society, the communities, they need to know the school, what is happening in the school. Pastors, we need to leave our pulpits and go to the schools and be there, talk to the teachers, talk to our children, together with the civil society. And I think it will be easy then to fast track to know what is happening. And then they should be assisted in terms of the parents. Parents who don't attend school meetings, so we never know. So I think it's more complicated than just on the surface that we're seeing.
So when we come back from the break, all three of you are talking about working together, but I want us to talk about whether or not there is tolerance for this working together that is there already, that can make the ground fertile for this particular working together. Mbogeli, akasethi shelele idolo siyabuya khona manje. Mbogeli, akasiqhubeke futhi nenkulumo yethu uma uqeda ukuhlanganyela kanye nathi sikhuluma ngendaba of very strange practices ezenzakalayo ezikoleni nokuthi how do schools and even us as parents get involved to overcome this particular problem. Ngizobuya kuwema, one of the things enginizwa nikhuluma ngayo nonke indaba yokusebenzisana. Kodwa, is there a tolerance for this kind of working together?
Okay. Ngizobuya ngibuyele futhi emuva ngithi kuwe uma amabandla wenkolo nabalaphi bendabuko besigungu esithize besebenzisana kanye uyakhona ukuthi uyinqobe inkinga ebakhona ezikolweni. Asithi nje siqale la sithi ekuqaleni umntwana uma eya emakhosini eyokhulekela emakhosini ithonga kuze athwase, the child to be initiated. Into yokuqala iqala kuphi? You have to have a communication between wena nabazali bengane. From ebazalini bengane kula ngisuka khona njengomlaphi wendabuko ngi-indicatela in i-Department of Education. This is where I report we Department of Education, which I've got a child spiritually ozokhuliswa ngokomoya, ozokhuliswa ngokwethonga. Lo mntwana loyo kunendlela efanele ahambe ngayo, umgomo nembandela sinayo. My code of conduct and ethics we do have as practitioners. Much as enkonzweni abo pastor banawo ama ethics wabo nama codes, naku Department of Education. Number one, sihlonipha Department of Education ngendlela isimanga. We follow protocol ye Department of Education. Ukuthi umntwana angahambi ngedzumani ekhanda, kungabi libovu lele hlala ekhanda. That's respecting the school. Ama-beats womntwana, you make ama-cups so that you respect space umntwana akuso during school time. Now, the communication is ifika la isekutheni other pastors don't actually want to work with abalaphi bendabuko. They demoralize, which we're not supposed to do that. We are all parents. We are njengoba sinje siyakwazi singama school governing body as parents. So school governing body, the parents, the department, the pastors, abafundisi, abobishop, abalaphi bendabuko, we have to be one person, we should be under one ground so that we can be able to fight whatever spirits that are there that are not supposed to be within the ground yes called.
Let me get Umfundisi to respond to that.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Mama, for your comment. I don't think it's a question. There could be some, but there could be people who are not aligned or open to working together. Let's put something clear. We believe differently.
Yeah.
We work things differently. However, when come to abantwana, we can put our beliefs to say what will benefit umntwana esikoleni without allowing what we believe to divide us. And I think that's the understanding. We must not be divided. It's like political parties, to give an example. They all want their country to work. So, that's why we have that parliament, different views. So I think, Mama, we must accept, we believe differently, we believe in God, we pray, and then in your belief, you believe differently. However, there could be common ground where, for the benefit of umntwana, for the benefit of school, that there are areas that we can cooperate. Yes. So abantwana, that they're not divided, and we're not divided by our belief system. Yeah. I think we are good in terms of diversity. We are born out of that. We've got different languages, different cultures, but we are living together. So I want to urge you, Mama, that don't think every pastor demonize you. We don't demonize you, all of us. There could be some, but however, we can't find a common ground. I do believe that. Yeah, so Elijah, then how do you as the department begin to bridge the divide here? Yes. Because there is clearly a need, as both are saying, but we sometimes hear that the department sometimes is not open to this. So how do you begin then to make sure that there's a working together here?
No. It cannot be. We are the custodian of the South African Schools Act. The Schools Act is very clear that there shall be no religion which will impose itself over others. All of them are equal, just as it reflects in the Constitution. So it's not a matter of the department. It's individual who believe in certain things. Gift ethize aza nayo esikoleni azoyibika ukuthi yena kufanele ahambe ayothwasa thola ukuthi uprincipal othize mhlambe uthisha othize angayithandi lento kube uyena akhulumayo athi thina sizoxosha la esikoleni then simlungise ke uma kunjalo ngoba uma uprincipal kuyena akuyona idepartment uprincipal ngoba naye uza naye ezakhe izinto
so uza
nezakhe ukuthi akufanele kube njalo so into enjalo kufanele silungise ngoba asivumi ukuthi imfundo yomntwana ingaqhubekeli phambili ngendawo yomuntu oyi-one ongabhiliveli kuleyo nto leyo.
Pardon me for coming in there because we're rushing to the break, but very briefly, there are some who are saying ukuthi the fact that akusena mithandazo assembly is also partly responsible for what we are seeing. How do you respond?
Not true. I want that person to come here and tell me where did we say ukuthi imthandazo ungabikho esikoleni. Because I go to schools where they start isikole bafunda iBhayibheli. No one stops them from doing that. Many schools, they do. Others, they even go to the extent of inviting pastors to come preach esikoleni. No one says they're doing something wrong. The only thing esingayifuni ukuthi baphoqele wonke umuntu ukuthi aze kuleyo assembly sithi umntana ongayifuni leyo session leyo akavunyelwe ukwenza eyakhe inkolo ngesikhathi sakhe kodwa naye kufanele bamncedise ukuthi akwazi ukwenza into yakhe kungabi khona ukuthi sithi wonke umuntu akenza into efana akunjalo so lento leyo ikhona ukuthi nje abantu bayavilapha ukwenza into abafisa ukuyenza ngoba kwezinye indawo bayenza akho umuntu abavimbelayo ukuthi benze leyo.
Mfundisi, very briefly, and then I'm going to come to Mamqaba on this particular point. Yokuthi, as Elijah says, nothing stops them ey'koleni from doing this, but we see in some of the schools abanye bayakhala bathi bona babona ngathi abavumelekile ukuthi kukhulekwe assembly. Very briefly, in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, look, I think that's not true. I've been talking to the principal of one in high school in Alex, one in Tembisa. We'll be adopting those schools and we're going to work with them. Part of it is prayers. Part of it is just bringing the spiritual element, but also want to go beyond that emotional support. What do we do with things like that? So I support Mr. Mhlanga on that area. It's not true. We just have to wake up. It's simple as that. We need to do our jobs on the ground, support our society. It's simple as that. So for us, we're going to be, as our church, and IFCC, we've got 400 churches across the country. We're going to be influencing those churches to adopt a school across the country.
And I'm going to, when we come back from the break, I'd like us to touch on that, but also, Mama, masesphetha ngifuna ukuthi usitshele ukuthi siwubona kanjani umoya ongekho right. You know, because it's something you said earlier on, we need to know how to differentiate. Ukuthi kwenzakalani. Mbukeli, siyabuya khona manje Ngonyaka.
Okay.
Sesiphetha Mbukela ke sibuke ukuthi sixazulula kanjani yona lenkinga mangizoqala ngawe. How do we spot these you know imimoya engekho right, and in your view yini into esingayenza ukuthi kube isombululo njengamanje?
Okay, isombululo singaba khona ekuthenini emveni kokuthi abazali sebabonile ne-Department of Education seyibonile ukuthi kunale moya nathi balaphi bendabuko kanye nabafundisi sesike sahlangana kunento esingayiboni ukugula, mental illness. We have to check that as well. Ngoba uthola ukuthi omunye umntwana ekhaya usuke enqindezini. Health wise abekho right. I-diet yabo endlini ingabikho right. That alone iyamlimaza umntwana emotionally, iyamlimaza. Empilweni yakhe nje physical strength yomntwana asibi khona. Umntwana akabi ne self esteem, uluza i self confidence. Ziningi izinto ezingabanga njengomama njengomzali, ngizokhulumela njengombaba njengomzali kodwa njengomlaphi wendabuko ukuthi ngempela some of the spirits that are there abantwana, it's because of i-pressure that they're going through abayibonayo esikolweni nokukhala abantwana bethu sicela ukuthi baye ukukhalela izinto umuntu makabona omunye spiritually gifted and then the child wants to compete with the child and then kuba yinkinga ngoba uthola ukuthi upastor noma ngeza esikolweni azokhuleka. The child wants to be above superior kuno principal wakhe, which it doesn't happen.
I'm hoping you and I one day talk about that ngoba bakhala ngoba ngezinto abayibona ku social media.
Exactly,
and I'm hoping that one day we get to talk about that. Mfundisi, very briefly.
Yeah, the first thing, you know, as IFCC, also even our person as a church, we believe in prayer. We believe that prayer works. So the starting point for us is to pray for our children, for God's intervention. We believe in that, solid. Number two, there are practical steps that we can take. Like I've said, as IFCC as an organization, we will actually meet with the department because we've got close to 400, 500 churches across the country. We want each church to adopt a school together with the civil society and then work with those schools, become live of the schools, and we there, we are present, just like, you know, we talk about crime and all of that. And then thirdly is that the issue of suicide and mental illness, we can bring counselors to the school, but we need experts. So for me, the way I'm seeing it, it's a package of different intervention coming in one in different schools. We can resolve this problem. We can help our children, but obviously parents in their home, how they treat their children. So for me, it's those three elements, which I think it's possible. And working with the department, everything is possible.
Yeah.
Elijah, I'm going to give you the final word briefly.
Yeah, thina siyacela nje ukuthi all those who are invited to participate in the survey, they must please interact with the researchers, give us what you know. We'll be able to develop guidelines to assist the sector to handle these matters when they arise.
And that is very important because that particular investigation is also going to help everyone understand what's going on here. So let me thank you all for your time. And hopefully we come back again and we talk about the impact even of social media and other things, mental health and all of that on our children, and how best then do we begin to deal with this particular issue as a society, including Nanbazale Makaya, because you do have a role to play. It is important that you know what your children are getting up to, who are they talking to, know more about your kids so that you are able to also see ukuthi kwenzakalani ngabo. Mbukele isiNgqongqoshe kakhulu sibonge kuwe ukuthi uhlanganyele kanye nathi nehambele zethu okhulumela uMnyango wezeMfundo eyisisekelo uMnumzane uElijah Mhlanga, umfundisi uGet Khoza, nongu-General Secretary we-International Federation of Christian Churches kanye noMalayi Xaba ongusekela mongameli we-Traditional Healing Organization. Thina-ke sinethimba le Asikhulume, siyabonga kakhulu, ayihlangane futhi.